Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pilot episodes for Synergy Center. We are the center of connection, and my name is Dana Strang, master's in exercise physiology, 20 years health and wellness, cutting edge fitness and nutrition. Really here, my mission is to bridge the gap between knowledge, what we know we want to do, and action. Really digestible, fast facts, hopefully in under 15 minutes. I'll try to talk efficiently and effectively so that you get the information you need, right? I've done the research. I've dissected the abstracts. So now I can give you digestible, fast facts. And you can take these things. My vision would be that you could take these things for a happier and healthier you. Okay? If you like what you're hearing, like, comment, and please subscribe. So let's begin. Okay, so today we are talking about immunity. I might have a few things that are controversial in the things that I say, and please ask questions. You want the science? I'll be happy to give it to you. But here's where we're going. 3 things, fast things. Actually, let's go with 5. 3 of them are going to be supplements, right? Good for your body, good for your brain, good for your budget. 2 of them are free, okay? Sleep. 8 hours of sleep. Get your sleep. Even if it's interrupted, get sleep. Okay? Second one, move. I don't care if you're going up a few steps and going down a few steps. If you're walking to the mailbox or if you're walking around the block, get outside and move. Bundle up. Okay? But those are your freebies. The other part I want to impart with you, this is going to be when we're talking about supplementation, right? We're going to be talking about deficiencies in vitamin D, magnesium, and omegas, and just the magnitude of importance that they play in your health and your immune system, okay? The idea is that I will give you the food, and read in the comments below too, and what I've put there as content, what my recommendations are. But as much as you can, whole foods, amazing. Do that. Right? But unfortunately, we're in a state of deficiency, nutrient deficiency. Even the plants and vegetables, fruits, and foods don't have the nutrient density that they did 50, 60, 70 years ago, right? In order to get the same nutrients as an apple 100 years ago, you'd need to eat 10 apples, okay? That's the type of depletion that we're talking about. So supplementation is a necessary. I wanted to address that first. And so in that context, I want to talk about 3 things that are going to be just massive for your immune system. And I'll give you some of the stuff. And I've taken some notes too to remind myself so that I get you all the information you need. Vitamin D. Let's begin. This one's a little funky. I'm going to challenge your mindset on this. Okay. Vitamin D, we know for bone health, right? You need vitamin D for calcium absorption in the bones. That's a given, right? I think that's pretty common knowledge these days, okay? So vitamin D is associated with that. It's also associated with the sun, right? We get it in the sun from UVB. So there's UVA, UVB, right? First light is really good, not necessarily when the sun is just rising and it's still dark out, but your UVB will be what helps you convert into vitamin D, okay, into your body and mostly into your bloodstream, okay? So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about into the bloodstream because it is fat soluble. Vitamin D, if you got an excess amount of fat, likes to live there. Doesn't do a lot of good, okay? So getting out in the sun. Now, we are still dealing with, even having said that, in the United States, a deficiency of about 75% in vitamin D. Now, there's a few contributing factors, and this is where it gets a little controversial, and I'll kind of give you my ideas on this. If you have this beautiful, luscious, dark skin, right? You have melanin in your skin. That makes it harder for you to absorb vitamin D, okay? If you are overweight, right? And we're dealing with an obesity and an overweight epidemic of 70% in the United States. You are going to have a hard time, like I just mentioned, absorbing vitamin D into your bloodstream because it likes to live in fat. Okay, it's fat soluble. Then, If you live above 37 degrees latitude in the United States, let's call this Denver and St. Louis kind of in the middle, with Richmond, Virginia on one side and San Francisco on the other, just kind of making this arc, it's also going to be harder in the winter time, in the winter months, and obvious reasons, right? It's colder, you're not getting outside, but you're not going to be absorbing the vitamin D that you need from the sunshine naturally, okay? Vitamin D plays an epic role in our DNA expression, okay? It is a steroid hormone, okay? And what does that mean? It means it gets in, once it's in our body, in our bloodstream, it can break that barrier into our DNA and allow us to either express genes or not express genes in a certain way. What does it do? It helps us with serotonin synthesis in our brain. Serotonin's the happy drug, right? So serotonin, right? We want more of that, obviously homeostatic, levels, homeostasis and what have you. And if you need some definition of terms, please shoot me messages. The other thing that it helps is with our immune system, okay? It helps particularly with respiratory diseases, COVID, SARS, viruses, okay? So there's definitely, we saw during the pandemic that there was an epic disproportion of people who were overweight and had beautiful dark skin. Unfortunately, they were the ones hit the hardest. And I believe vitamin D deficiency had a huge role to play. Now, yes, we were claiming socioeconomic stuff as well, but that's because nutrition and education and availability, right? Some of these things are just not readily available. Well, that's my goal, is to bring it and to make sure that it is. So vitamin D supplementation. And you're also going to see, again, in the comments below, in my context, all the recommendations that I make. Whole food eating options and supplementation options and amounts, okay? So take a look at that below for your vitamin D supplementation. You need vitamin D for high immune systems. Let's stave off in this flu season and, just take better care of yourself. Next, magnesium levels. Okay, you hear about magnesium. Magnesium's good for sleep. There are a bunch of different types of magnesium. I list the ones that I like the best below. And if you want my protocols, happy to give you my protocols. Magnesium is a mineral, okay? And we're also in the United States looking at about 50% deficiency in magnesium, okay? What does magnesium do, okay? Magnesium is important for over 300 enzymes to do what they need to do to repair and regenerate for our DNA, for our cells on a very basic cellular level. Okay, so for us to, and we shed DNA, we shed cells every day, lots and lots and lots. And so in the shedding and detoxification and the regeneration, magnesium plays a huge part. Okay, I put this statistic because I wanted to read this to you as well, that magnesium, when in appropriate levels, decreases all causes of death by 40%. They call it all-cause mortality. That's the fancy term. But across the board, 40%. Then the other staggering statistic that was really interesting was that there's certain types of cancer that when magnesium levels were normal in humans, they were 50% less likely to get cancer. That's huge. That is absolutely huge, especially when you can take it as a supplementation form on the daily. Okay, I'm going to put a caveat here. Always seek advice from whomever your primary care, physician, doctor, whoever you're working with, DO, naturopath, etc. Whoever your primary care and medical, seek advice from them. Get some proper blood tests and other tests to make sure, that you can adjust. So that's going to be my little caveat there. The other thing is, let's see, magnesium is, so naturally, magnesium is in the center cellular chlorophyll molecule. Okay, what the heck did I just say? The chlorophyll, right? That's the stuff that makes plants green. You gotta eat cruciferous, leafy, crunchy greens, okay? That's how we get them, right? And if you're not doing 5 servings a day, which would probably be like a couple bushels, I don't think anybody's going to be able to down that much. You want to supplement, okay? So also supplement with a good greens, okay? Last, saved the best for last, omegas, your omega-3s, okay? EPA, DHA. Another one is an ALA, and that, gets transferred, and, eat walnuts. That's a good source. But your brain health, okay? Your anti-age, your increase in mobility, in joints, right? Our brain, fun fact, is mostly fat, okay? So in order to give it what it wants, it loves omegas. It loves fatty fish. When we're talking about cognitive function, attention, the ability to recall, okay? A lot of disease is caused by inflammation. And what we're dealing with in America is chronically inflamed states, okay? Inflammation in the brain particularly, right? They're recognizing huge amounts of inflammation with autism and a ton of other Alzheimer's, right? If you can reduce the inflammation in the brain, you've got a fighting chance, okay? So omegas do that. They help clear out inflammation, and we call it inflammaging, okay? So reversing the effects of aging by reducing the inflammation in our brains. Let me see if there's anything else I forgot. Oh, there is something coming up. We know about the, omegas with the joints, but there is some up and coming science talking about it being able to help with muscle density. Okay, especially when people have stopped doing a lot of heavy weight training. Omegas will help you sustain good muscle tone. Okay, so I thought that was rather cool. Anything else I'm forgetting? Yes. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to mention, that omega deficiency is at a staggering 85% in the United States. That takes off about 5 years of life with that they've noticed across races, across the world, different people that have higher levels. And I wanted to read this to you as well because I found this fascinating, that EPA and DHA blood levels, very low in certain countries, right? Very low. North America, Central, South America, Europe, Southeast Asia, and Africa, in parentheses, Kenya. Right? When we're talking life expectancy, okay, we were looking at, it was calculated that about 84,000 deaths are attributed to low omegas. That's huge. And we're talking about people who have higher life expectancies. Let me read this to you. They also had the highest levels of omegas: Japan, South Korea, Denmark, Norway, and Greenland. So if I haven't convinced you yet, get vitamin D, get magnesium, get a good source of absorbable omegas, get sleep, a little bit of movement. You are going to stave off sickness. So, hope you like, subscribe, all the things. I think I did it in under 15 minutes. See you soon.